What's up, everybody? What's up? Welcome back. Welcome back. What's up, Lenny? What's up, Mike? What's up, Big Dre? Shout out to y'all. Shout out to y'all. How's everybody doing on this Saturday morning, evening, wherever you're at in the world? How's everybody doing out there? Got some crypto updates, price action. Got some active markets right now, so we're going to get into it. What's up, Sneaky? Shout out to you. Yeah, it's been a few days. What's up, what's up, B Rush? Yes, Brian McKnight in the flesh. What's up, Scott? What's up, Big Dre? Waiting on the 19th. Yeah, hopefully on the 19th we get some, well, ahead of the 19th, we already get some volatility. So to me, it's already priced in. Nothing to worry about. How's everybody doing on this Saturday? Today is May the 10th, 2025. We are in the second quarter of the year. Next month in June, we'll complete the second quarter. So we got a lot of things going on. A lot of, to me, everything is pretty much organized and controlled. Everything is on a timeline and orchestrated. So everything is going according to plan. You say you're tired? Oh, most definitely, man. Like, everybody, I know everybody's tired. Shoot, we all grinding, we all hustling. What's up, Mr. Dub? Let me get a quick roll call right quick. Let me get a quick roll call. Y'all shout out where y'all from, city, state, region, country, whatever y'all want to shout out. Go ahead and shout it out. Make sure y'all smash that like button for me. Subscribe to the channel. We got Earth in the building. We got Delaware in the building. We got Nashville in the building. Nashville, Tennessee. Shout out to y'all. We got the Bronx, New York in the building. Shout out to BK. Shout out to Richmond, Virginia. Shout out to BR, Baton Rouge, Louisiana. Appreciate y'all joining. What's up to Florida in the building? Shout out to Pennsylvania in the building. I definitely appreciate y'all joining. So let's go ahead and look at some of these markets. If y'all don't know, we got, you know, I'm not always staying in tune with the legislation and stuff, but we had chaos on the Capitol Hill yesterday or whatever. We're going to get into that right quick. Got some headlines like the SEC case and Ripple. It's finished, but it ain't finished. So I'm going to look into that. And we're going to look into a few things. Mister, we're trying to keep up here, but working crazy overtime. You got to get that money. You got to get that money. You could tap in where you can, but I appreciate you being here for right now. So we got XRP currently trading at $2.40, $2.40. I'm gonna break the charts down. I'm gonna show you why we currently are trading at $2.40 and where we could potentially go next. We got XLM, 30 cents. XLM looking real strong right now, sitting at 30 cents. The entire market looking real strong. We got XDC still being quiet and is always lagging behind XRP and XDC. But XDC showing it's consolidating right now, but it's looking good for XDC. HBAR sitting at a strong 20 cents. Bitcoin, last time I went live, I talked about Bitcoin breaking its all-time high. Go back and watch my last live stream. I pointed out that Bitcoin is going to break its all-time high. Ever since I did that live stream, now it's moving higher, trading at $103,000. It's aiming for the all-time high. Ethereum moving real strong right now in the moment. It's 2,400. Algo 23 cents, and we got Solana $171. So let's come over here to let me see. Let's go check out some news right quick. I don't have a lot of news, but we're gonna check that out right quick. So yesterday we had Democrats yesterday in Washington with the stablecoin bill. You know, they're acting the fool up there in Washington. So we're gonna go ahead and get into that right quick. Bring it up. So let's play this video right quick.
House Democrats walked out of a hearing to protest President Trump's cryptocurrency profits.
Alexandria Hoff has more from Washington.
Does the ranking member insist upon her objection?
I insist upon my
objection, and I'd like everyone to join me in CVC room 217.
The objection to convening this meeting is heard.
Fireworks on Capitol Hill today at a committee meeting not usually known for political controversy. House Democrats walked out of a cryptocurrency legislation hearing and moved down the hall for their own shadow hearing, hoping to put the focus on President Trump's close ties to the crypto industry, claiming he's engaged in massive corruption.
Trump has turned the office of the presidency into a personal.
Man, these people got to be stopped. I'm telling you, like, these people just need to go ahead and retire. Like, at some point, they got to get up out of here, man, because they doing more harm than good. But at some point, these people got to get up out of here. How much more time do y'all think these people got in Congress, especially somebody like her? You know what I'm saying? They got to get up out of here.
Money-making machine. He is flouting our country's national security and anti-corruption laws.
The main issue for Democrats, Trump's issuing of his own so-called meme coin, which has generated more than $320 million for businesses owned by the president. And the Trump family is heavily invested in crypto. It's thought to make up about 40% of the family's portfolio. But Republicans say none of that is evidence of
My bad. My bad, y'all. My bad. But 40% is crazy. 40% of their portfolio is crazy. So that's a large percentage of the Trump family's portfolio, allegedly. I'm just going to say allegedly.
wrongdoing, pointing out the president has been a big supporter of cryptocurrency for years.
I understand the ranking member has concerns, but by objecting to this hearing, the ranking member is undermining the opportunity for these two committees to engage in a conversation of vital importance.
The president was asked about the growing controversy, saying his policies are all about protecting America's economic security.
I'm very much in favor of crypto, Bitcoin, all of the different things, because otherwise China's going to take it over.
Later this
He said, otherwise, China is going to take it over. It's all a big show, in my honest opinion. Y'all should have nothing to worry about. Somebody in the comments said we're going to finish this up next week, hopefully. Whatnot. I don't focus on all this, but I see it. But I can't give my energy to that in the charts at the same time. So I got to be, I'm not that universal like that. I have to focus on one thing at a time. But I appreciate y'all that keep up with that and follow all that. And then I just seen something else. They was they up there acting a fool. So let's watch this video right quick. 1 second.
Never in American history has a sitting president so blatantly violated the ethics laws.
I asked the ranking member. The gentleman was offered a moment to comment. The gentleman was offered a moment to comment on the objection. The gentleman is no longer recognized.
$2.9 billion.
The gentleman is no longer recognized. You will be recognized during this hearing.
Issuing a meme coin. Governance
the gentleman, Mr. Lynch, would be noticed if he was in a hearing,
of which
he would have the ability to speak under the protections that are provided in the House rules. Ranking Member Lynch, you are no longer recognized by the chair. The gentlelady's objection is heard. We'll now move into the round table. It is too bad for the ranking member that it is not a hearing. If it was a hearing, the ranking member would be protected by House rules. There was an objection from the ranking member of the full committee.
On her objection. I object.
The committee, the objection is heard.
Hey, what if they were paid actors? What y'all think? What if they was paid actors?
It's the key to understanding your taxes.
What if they was paid actors? What y'all think, man? I can't call it because that's America. That's your Congress. But let's get back over to the charts. Let me bring them back up. So let's come over here and look at XRP. I'm gonna come over here. All right. This is the 3-month time frame for XRP. We have 1 month and 21 days left to complete this candle. 1 month and 21 days left to complete this candle. So we still got some time. It's kind of playing out like I prefer to see. If y'all don't know what I'm talking about, just go back and watch my last live streams. I gave y'all two options with this quarterly candle. I already outlined that. Y'all remember when I outlined this fair value gap below the market? This is a discount array where they offered a discounted opportunity. I highlighted it a month ahead of time. So we dropped down into it. And I give y'all two options that I wanted to see. Either we come down here, hang down here for several months inside of this gap. That was one option. But the one that I preferred was us dropping down inside of this gap, which we did, and we rapidly move away from it. The further we move away from it, that is strength in price. That is very bullish. If you don't know what I'm talking about, just if you don't understand what I do in my concepts, just go watch my videos on my channel. I've been posting more trading videos of me timing the market, understanding how price action operates. Just go to my YouTube channel under my videos. All week I've been posting my trades that I've been taking all week in other markets. But the markets are algorithmic. They repeat over and over again. These things are running on an algorithm, and you can see them and you can predict them. So, and this goes for all assets. So one of the mechanisms or protocols I want to see was us drop down here, move away. Now we're moving away. Now we got the all-time high for XRP is 339. Don't let them tell you nothing else. The all-time high is 339. It's not 380. XRP never been up to 380. Never has. So it's currently at 339. We are currently moving away. So y'all that are familiar with the Patreon, we got this wick, this large wick from the previous candle. What is that? What do we call that right there? Y'all let me know in the chat. What is that wick right there? Make sure y'all smash that like button, subscribe to the channel. If y'all don't know what it is a ghost pool. There you go, Excalibur. Shout out to you, Lawrence. It's a ghost pool. So what I do is I take a Fibonacci from the opening price, the closing price of the candle right here, and drag it all the way up to the high. And then we have these hidden levels in price that most retail aren't aware of. Again, I keep trying to tell y'all, this is algorithmic price action. Most people aren't even aware of these things that occur in the markets. So we drop down a discount inside of this gap, and then we trade higher. We're currently ranging inside of this wick right here, which we refer to as a ghost pool. And inside of that ghost pool, we have specific levels that we can refer to, like this 0.75 level. Do you think it's random that price trades directly to that level right there and rejects it? Nothing is random in these markets if they're algorithmic. It's all coded. They repeat over and over again. It's very generic. Remember the game Snake? If y'all are old enough, that phone we used to have, that game we used to have on our phone, Snake. Snake is very repetitive. It does certain functions and they repeat over and over again. Well, so does these markets. They only do a handful of functions and they repeat over and over again. What makes it difficult is time frames. What's up, RHS? Appreciate you joining. What makes it difficult is understanding how price is fractal. Price has different time frames, and every time frame has a certain way you should analyze. Like it's the markets are dealing with time first, and then price. So the markets are coded by time and then price. And that every time I go live, I refer to these things. What's up, ZZ? Do you anticipate it rising to 270 range in the ghost pool before retracing? I saw lows left behind in the market on the daily. Now, look, just because they leave highs and lows in the market, the likelihood of them returning to them are always high. But there's always highs and lows that they never refer back to. So you have to see this over and over again. If ZZ, you should be catching on by now. If we go by the higher time frame, if we're studying the higher time frame institutional order flow, we get in sync with the higher time frame. That's why I'm starting y'all off on the 3-month time frame. So far we dropped down. A lot of y'all thought it was gonna come back down. No, we dropped down. That was That was one opportunity they offered. They didn't offer it long. They dropped down to $1.61 inside of this gap. We displaced higher. Now we're starting to see reach for premium targets. Remember, the market only goes from a discount to premium, premium to discount. It does this over and over again. We need to see, okay, and again, these candles are very long-term drawn out, but what we're seeing right now is very bullish and very strong. For this 3-month candle, we have 1 month, 21 days left to complete this candle. So we still have over 1 month for this candle to complete. So the question is, how does this candle close? However this candle closes will help me forecast and anticipate how we go into the third quarter of 2025. Now, this is for you long-term people, long-term. If you watch me, I don't prefer long-term trading. I understand. The only reason I'm long-term investing, and I don't even long-term invest in stocks. The only reason I'm long-term investing into digital assets is because this is a new financial class. This is a new asset class that has never been seen before. These things have utility, like kind of like gold. Like I'm too young to been able to get gold when it was very dirt cheap, $20, $30, $40, $100. I'm too young for that. So I see the opportunity for digital assets right now to possess them and own them like real estate or something. That's the only reason I see the opportunity in holding these things long term. Other than that, I am a trader. So if you're watching me, I am a trader first. I am a trader first. Just go to my channel and you will see me just trading, because trying to, me personally, I like to put my capital to work more rapidly. I can run up an account. I can build capital more rapidly than holding long term. But like I just explained, I give you the reason why I invest long-term in digital assets. I apply all strategies, but when it comes to me, I'm a trader first. So within this 1 month to 20-day time frame, I could show you dozens of opportunities to find opportunities to trade and be in and out the market instead of holding this long-term. I know that probably sounded, press 1 if y'all understand what I'm talking about. Press 1 if y'all understand what I'm talking about. Do you understand where I'm coming from? I'm just trying to figure out, I'm just trying to make sure y'all understand where I'm coming from with this digital asset, XRP and others like it. I come from a traders community where we're in and out the markets, where we're running up capital, we're building cash, trading, we're running up capital, and then we go invest that capital. Okay, Mark, I appreciate it. Mark, you understand. Scott, Lawrence, y'all understand. If y'all don't understand, ZZ, I need confirmation. ZZ, do you understand what I'm talking about? Because you always have a long-term perspective, but in the Patreon, I'm teaching y'all how to do it all. I'm trying to teach y'all how to look for opportunities right now as well. That's something you might want to look into. There was no particular question, B-Rush. I'm just trying to explain how I analyze. Like, a lot of people, when they ask me questions, they want the long-term perspective. They want that long-term outlook. And I give it to them. I show you. Like, people want to okay, again, like, people want that long-term. There's nothing wrong with it. Listen, there's nothing wrong with long-term investing. I am currently long-term investing. My preference is day trading. That's my preference. But day trading, we're dealing with paper contracts, all that. We're dealing with the derivatives market. You don't own the physical assets. The assets that you trade when you're day trading, you're just trading paper contracts in return for cash market. They're cash markets. With these digital assets, these are software. That's the only reason I see the value in this. You mean to tell me we can own the protocols of the internet? That is way more valuable than holding cash. We're holding the protocols of the banking system. That's the only reason I invest long-term into these digital assets, because you're able to own a piece of the software. So that's understood. So when I'm breaking down the markets, I'm giving you all perspectives. I'm giving you the long-term all the way down to right now. And my first look is, okay, in order to understand where this price will go next month, next week, you kind of have to understand what's going on intraday with intraday volatility. You got to understand that. You got to drop down to the daily. You got to drop below the daily time frame. You got to get intraday. You got to pull up your sleeves to get a better view on, okay, where can we close in a month and 21 days? So I'm going to do that. Let's go from the 3 month. Let's go down to the monthly. From the 3 month down to the monthly. So on the monthly time frame, I asked y'all earlier this month, I forgot when, I say, hey, what side of the market? And this is where we kind of understand and help us guide us on the direction and price. I asked y'all, which side of the market do you see this month, the month of May, reaching for? A lot of y'all told me previous month's high, because we know above old highs and below old lows, there are pending orders in the market left behind by the institutions. They're always seeking liquidity. That's how these markets function. They're algorithmic. They're always looking for liquidity, because that's how they engineer price. That's how they engineer the price. They got to leave behind orders below and above the market. It's called an open float. They have to engineer all these orders in the market to allow participants to come into the market to participate. The whole time, the participants aren't aware of the game being played. They're not aware that, oh, there's already predetermined orders in the market. So when I step into the market, I'm just thinking, I don't know what people thinking, but there are already predetermined orders in the market. If it wasn't that way, these markets wouldn't be tradable. I'm just letting you know. There wouldn't be no markets if it wasn't controlled. That's why these markets are controlled. They have to be engineered. And by that manipulation and corruption, people like me see the opportunity. So we took out last month's high. We took out that liquidity. And now we're trading inside of this monthly ghost pool. Now, not only we're trading inside that monthly ghost pool, look at this large wick right here, back from March. That's another ghost pool, which I'm going to take a Fibonacci from the opening price up to the high. And you can see that we punched through that 0.75 level, touching that higher time frame ghost pool. Now I'm using all kind of different tools. I got many tools in my arsenal, so I can pull from anything that I choose. But I'm going to go ahead and hide this ghost pool, but I'm aware of it. And from the monthly, we got 21 days left in the month of May. So 21 days left. Let's go ahead and look at the economic calendar. So we have just completed the first week of May. That was the 4th through the 10th. That's the first week of May. Now we're going into the second week of May, the 11th through the 17th. And next week, we have a lot of high impact news in the market. We got a lot of high impact news. So expect volatility going into next week. A lot of volatility going into next week in the markets. Whenever you see these high impact news drivers, which is the red folders, this is when market makers, they come in and inject liquidity into the market. With that liquidity injection, that brings the volatility to price in the markets. It's engineered, and they even tell you what time of the day they're going to inject liquidity into the market. So it's already predetermined. They give you a roadmap. That's why I refer to the economic calendar. So next week, we got CPI. We got FOMC meetings. We got PPI. Unemployment claims. And next Thursday, we got Jerome Powell speaking. I'm not sure what he's speaking about, but he's speaking next week. So we got a busy week going into next week, which is the second week of May. Expect more volatility to pick up. And then add on top of that, the Congress and the legislation bills coming into the market. That also brings volatility. On top of that, any announcements dealing with the Ripple and the SEC, you got to factor in all those possibilities and those narratives that could potentially bring volatility to the market. Even Donald Trump speaking brings volatility to the market. These markets are controlled. After next week, let's go ahead and foreshadow into the 18th to the 24th. 18th to the 24th. May 19th, we got the CME futures coming live to the markets. I'm definitely going to be paying attention to that. But next week, well, the 18th to the 24th on May 19th, CME futures going live. So remember that. A lot of people done forgot about that, but they're going live. And we all know these futures derivatives contracts bring market liquidity to the market. They bring liquidity to the market. So we already moving higher ahead of that. I agree with you, B Rush. That case been over. But again, the narratives, you already know the narratives. The case is over. It been over, but here they are just dragging their feet. But in the meantime, they're going live. They're trying to, I even think the Congress shit, that shit is over with. They just playing around. They playing around. Institutions. Now, okay, I just had this theory this morning too as well. Y'all tell me if y'all might agree with this. So I was really thinking hard. Let me come back to the chart right quick. Let's come over here to the chart. So I was thinking real hard about this. I was like, before, nothing is stopping price action from taking off. This is what I'm thinking about. Nothing is stopping price from just blowing off, going to like $5, $6, $7, $8. Nothing is stopping price. They can do that if they choose to. So what if smart money, market makers, just go ahead and push price to about $5 to $10 before stablecoin bills get passed, before all these legislations? That's definitely a possibility, because I'm already seeing it kind of from price action that there's a possibility that they can go ahead and push price higher, get it out the way to where, people not even going to be able to participate. What y'all think about that? For sure. So what y'all think about that narrative, that them going ahead and push price higher? Go ahead and push it up. Because there's no legislation, there's no regulations that's going to stop price from doing what it's going to do. I hope y'all know that, right? Now, all of that brings clarity to a market. But in the meantime, institutions are already in control of these markets. Institutions are already in control of these markets. Congress, Trump, nobody controls these markets but smart money, large institutions. Institutions are already in this market right now. They're already locked and loaded. We don't know what kind of backdoor deals they got going on. We'll never know. They could just tell us one thing and doing the whole nother thing. But I'm already of the belief and an opinion that institutions been in this market. They're just waiting for some type of catalyst to finally come out and say, hey, we could participate. But no, they're already positioned. So there's nothing stopping price going straight to $10. Nothing. At this moment right now, there is nothing stopping price to shoot up to $10. And then, here comes the stable coin regulations and the rules of the road and all of that stuff. Nothing. So just keep that in mind. That's what I'm thinking about, because I study price. I'm just looking at price. Price is looking very bullish. Let's go look at Bitcoin. I'm gonna come back to XRP. Bitcoin. Let's go out to the 3-month time frame on Bitcoin. Again, this is a long-term time frame for Bitcoin. This is the all-time high right here for Bitcoin, right there. That swing high right there. The previous all-time high for Bitcoin was 109,396. So we're already trading at 103. Bitcoin, if y'all been watching me, I highlighted this 3-month fair value gap in the form of a BISI. Buy side imbalance, sell side inefficiency. They dropped it down there, offered it a buying opportunity. Boom, displacement high. That is a strong move from Bitcoin. That push higher, let me show you on the lower time frame. We drop down, retrace down inside of this monthly fair value gap. And then at 3-month fair value gap, let me see if I can bring up the monthly. I don't have it pulled up. Naquan, that's exactly what I'm thinking. Like, I done seen it before. This is not far-fetched. They can go ahead and just, like Bitcoin right now, like Bitcoin trading at 103,000, and then, you know, it's already crazy that it's trading up that high. They can go ahead and push XRP quietly to $10 without regulation and all that. I hope y'all know that. And then they come around and be like, okay, we're going to go ahead and regulate it. And then by that time, you know, there's people still on the sideline waiting. There's people still on the sideline waiting to buy XRP. And then they go ahead and push it to $10, $10 to $15. And then, okay, we're going to go ahead and regulate the market. The Ripple case is over. You know, we're going to go ahead and finalize it. They can do that. You see BTC and ETH futures can be traded 24/7. I'm going to get into that here in a minute, Lenny. Yes, 24/7 trading is coming. Coinbase is starting to offer that right now. But look at Bitcoin. It retraced. So a few months ago, it was panic in the markets. So back in February, March, Bitcoin retraced down to its discount. And then it, boom, just explode from discount, headed back to premium. Headed back to premium. This high right here was the all-time high. Previous all-time high right there. That's buy-side liquidity. And that's where pending orders were left as a trader. So imagine the futures traders, the money that was in here leveraging futures contracts, accumulating down here at 82,000, and boom, get back up to the all-time high. They're making a killing. I'm talking about injecting in hundreds of thousands of dollars, millions of dollars, and taking this little short-term position trade where the price should retrace down into internal range, liquidity, expansion outside of the range, taking out all-time high, and then taking profit. Because at this point, a $100,000 Bitcoin, retail can't afford that. This is nothing but institutional capital, and they're trading it. There's people that own the protocol, but most of this money is leverage derivatives contracts trading as the underlying asset continues to go higher. The average person can't buy a Bitcoin right now. Not one. So most of this capital trading right now is derivatives. And remember, I'm gonna have to play it again. The derivatives market sets the price of the commodity. The derivatives market sets the price of the commodity. So this is nothing but institutional liquidity pushing the price of Bitcoin. But don't be surprised. Let me go down to the weekly time frame. Let's drop down to the weekly. We only got a few more weeks. Yeah. Look at it. Very strong price action. Retracement down to discount, expansion. Liquidity is right there. So don't be surprised sometime next week or in 2 weeks. And remember, I said this first. I've been saying it. Don't be surprised in the next week or two, Bitcoin breaks its all-time high. And then all the hype train comes. You know what I'm saying? All the hype eventually comes back to the market and everybody excited again. You said, boss the mentor. I appreciate it. I'm trying to educate. ZZ, so on the 19th, with that going live, we could see a lot of liquidity being put in. ZZ, potentially, but there's already a lot of liquidity coming to the market right now. Let's come back to XRP. So back on XRP, the all-time high, it's looking kind of similar to, it's lagging just a little bit behind Bitcoin, but this is the all-time high right here for XRP. And like I said, I'm starting to have the theory and the belief based on what I do that they're going to go ahead and push price. They can leave y'all distracted with all the narrative, all the news, while they're already positioned. They don't give a damn about none of that. Everybody's acting, even Congress, they're positioned, and they're going to go ahead and push price. And then the next thing you know, they're going to come back to Congress and, all right, let's get this done. We can come to an agreement. You know what I'm saying? And XRP is sitting at $5, $6, $7. What's up, Law Docs? Did you hear about the claim of BTCS making a 3 million? No, I didn't hear the claim. I didn't hear the claim. I honestly not worried about it. I'm not worried about that right there. I don't even know what that is, Law Docs. I don't even know what that is. If y'all just joining, man, make sure y'all hit that like button for me, subscribe to the channel, and click the notification bell. I got the link in the description for the Patreon if y'all want to sign up to that. So let's get a little bit closer to XRP. We're going to go down to lower time frame. So from the monthly, again, we got 21 days left to complete the month of May, and then we'll go into June. I feel like we're going to have an exciting May. So let's see how we close this month. That's going to help us forecast where we go in June. So from the monthly, let's go down to the weekly. On the weekly candle. So who remembers early in the week, I believe that was Sunday. I asked y'all, okay, at minimum, where do y'all see price going? A lot of y'all said y'all seen it coming back down to this 3-month fair value gap. No, I said I'm bullish. I want to see us take out the previous week's high. That's at minimum. Now, this might look very minuscule to y'all. Like, this might look like nothing. A lot of y'all might ignore this type of price action, but just go look at my channel and under my videos. There's not a lot of this push. When this candle open right here and this push higher to take out the previous week's high, it also took out the previous week's low. That's a lot of volume inside of this one candle. Y'all might not understand that, but I'm here to tell y'all there's a whole lot of volume pushing these candlesticks. And we took out the last week's high, and then now there's nothing stopping us from taking out $250 and 258. So my next targets are 250, 258. So from the weekly, we got 1 day left. And then on Sunday evening, let's see how we close this candle right here. Let's see how we close this current week. And then on Sunday evening, we will open up the new week of trading, and let's see where we open up at. And I'm already telling you, the momentum is very strong, very strong. I do this all day. I do this every single day. I read these candlesticks. I know when, okay, it's time to go. It's about to push. So my anticipation skills are A1. From the weeklies, go down to the daily. So on the daily time frame, you can see that we dropped down the discount. Back in April, they offered you three opportunities to accumulate XRP inside of this highlighted area. 1, 2, 3. Remember, markets go from discount to premium, premium to discount. We displace higher. And now what are we doing? We're seeking old highs. You might not see that right now, but what I'm about to do is from the daily, let's go down to the hourly. From the daily down to the hourly. Now I'm gonna throw up my little dividers that help me and guide me for the to help guide and forecast for the weeks. Clone this. I'm gonna go ahead and forecast for the upcoming week, next week. So what I'm showing you right here is this blank canvas or this blank area. That's next week's price action. I'm already forecasting. I kind of need to zoom out. Let's go to the 4 hour. Let's go out to the 4 hour. So in between each one of these vertical lines, y'all tell me in the chat, y'all that are in the Patreon, what am I doing? Tell the people who don't know what I'm outlining, tell them in the chat, what am I looking for? What am I looking for? Or what would you look for when you're viewing the price like this for the people in the Patreon? If you ain't in the Patreon, sign up to the Patreon so that you can learn these skills. Link is in the description. What am I trying to outline? What am I looking for? What's the first thing that I'm looking for? Shout out to y'all in the chat. I appreciate the participation. So yes, we're looking for where is the liquidity? That's the first thing I care about. And like I said, when we're on higher time frames, so it's easy. When we're on higher time frames, you want a better, okay, where can we potentially go next? We got to drop down the lower time frames. We got to drop down the lower time frames to get a better, because on the higher time frames, you can't see all this data in price. So you have to come down to a lower time frame to understand, okay, where's the orders at? Where are the orders that the market makers left behind in price? So ZZ and the people in the Patreon, is it random that I called? So if I just zoom in right quick, everything to the left of this vertical trend line, that was last week's price action. I told y'all in the Patreon, I said, hey, either Monday, Tuesday, or Wednesday will create the low of the week. How do I know that? How can I possibly know that the low of the week will form on a Monday, Tuesday, or Wednesday? Because the markers are algorithmic. I do this all the time. They repeat over and over again. That's a certain concept that I don't even talk about. But I told y'all either Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday of the week, the low will form. Then I throw up my daily dividers and I'm gonna show you. So everything to the right of this vertical trend line, this was Sunday's price action right here, but in between these two vertical trend lines, that was Sunday's price action. And then Tuesday comes. Tuesday we trade down we trade down lower and we take out the liquidity from last week. This was last week's low. You see that? That's why we refer to previous week's highs and lows. On Tuesday we drop down, take out the sell side liquidity. Okay, cool. After we take out the liquidity, we wait. And then we cross over to Wednesday. Look what forms on Wednesday. Remember what I mean, Tuesday, my bad, not Wednesday. I'm thinking about the traditional markets. I forget cryptos are 7 days a week. The traditional markets are 5 days a week. But Sunday, Monday, we take out the previous week's low. On Tuesday, we form the low of the week right there. That low right there. And I told y'all beforehand, the low or the high of the week will form on a Tuesday, Wednesday, or Thursday. So I'm gonna go ahead and highlight that low right there. That's sell side liquidity. That's gonna be once this week closes, that's gonna be the weekly low. So the low of the week forms, and then boom, displacement higher to take out what? The previous week's high. Is that random or is that algorithmic? All you got to do is identify, okay, where's last week's high? Where's last week's low? Now notice we didn't drop down and take out all these other lows, but they're still pending in the market. And if they ever decide to drop the price back down lower, we have targets. We have targets. So we liquidated last week's low, boom, displays higher, take out last week's high. So, okay, now, where do we go from there? Since we're going to close the week bullish, and then here we are, Saturday. On Sunday, we open a new week. How do we open? And that's going to help us forecast where the pending orders are in the market, which already got left behind in price. If y'all been watching me every day, for the past several months, I refer to these levels and I have not removed them from my chart for months. Look at all the price levels above the market that I have still pending on my chart. And this goes all the way back to January. So all these things that are left behind in my chart are still in my chart from January, because eventually market makers in the algorithm are going to want to refer back to these levels because they left them behind in price. They left these levels behind in price. So this is the spot market. This is spot market XRP. So this is the digital asset that you go buy off exchanges and you stuff on Cold Wallet. Now let's go look at the futures contract. Let's go look at the futures contract. This is the Nano XRP on Coinbase. The same exact thing. And what I'm seeing, the volume is starting to pick up in this contract. So when it first went live, and this market isn't 24/7 like the spot market yet. Keyword yet. But as soon as this market went live, it was very choppy, but now the volume is starting to pick up. But the same thing in the futures market. The low on Tuesday, the low forms on the low on Tuesday, the low of the week forms. Here we are right here, just like the spot market. We take out last week's low. These same things are applying from the spot market to the futures market. They're kind of mirroring each other. And this is the market where we go look for opportunities to trade the cash for cash. We're leverage trading. So for the people that complain about long-term price action, learn how to trade. Sign up with the description. Sign up to the link in the description below. Learn how to trade so that you can be taking advantage of short-term price action. Imagine going to make $10,000 on this particular week right here. You go bank $10,000 on this particular week right here in the futures market, and then cash out from your exchange or broker, and then go buy the underlying spot asset XRP. That's what I'm trying to tell y'all. This is what I've been trying to preach to y'all. Like, learn how to trade so that you can cash flow, and you don't even have to worry about, if y'all concerned about buying more crypto or whatever, you can go do it in the cash market, in the derivatives market, and then go buy the digital asset XRP. So for example, we take out previous week's low on a Tuesday, the market consolidates, we get a displacement higher. Now, I still wouldn't trade this because it's not clean. It's still not clean enough for me. I needed to be a little bit more liquid, a little bit more volume. But for example, there's several entries that you could have took. For example, this fair value gap right here. This is a volume imbalance / fair value gap. We drop down into that on a Thursday. You could have entered your trade and then boom, held for what? What could your be an exit target? Let me remove that. Your target could have been last week's high right here. Boom, just like that. Entry, take profit out the market. XRP, the Nano XRP Futures derivatives contract on Coinbase. Take profit. Now, didn't the same price action form in the spot market? The same exact thing. Now, the futures market was a little bit more spotty, but the same exact thing happened in the spot market. So it's advantageous that you learn this skill set. So forecasting, I'm already bullish. I'm bullish on the week. We're going to get a strong close for this week right here. Going into next week, I'm going to continue to look for price to go higher. How high can we go? Well, we got previous week's highs left behind. Let's count how many weeks I have left behind in price. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 weeks of price action. 7 weeks of price action of old data that I have left behind in my chart. And these are targets that price will seek in the future. So like I said earlier, 250, 258, that's my next targets. We could potentially get that today. We could potentially get that tomorrow, because price right now, just zooming in on price today on Saturday, very strong. So let's go down a little bit closer. Let's go down out to the hourly. Let's go down to the hourly. So far today, price is high resistance as well. We're at the end of the week, but so far today, we traded down into this BISI, buy side imbalance, sell side inefficiency. Let me highlight that. Right there. It traded down into that during a specific time of the day. I'll leave that for y'all to study. What time of the day that I teach in the Patreon? What time of the day did we trade down into this fair value gap? It formed during the London session. And then 1, 2, displacement higher. Y'all tell me what this candle is right here. What is that candle right there? Y'all tell me in the chat. What is that right there? These things repeat over and over again. Very generic, repeat over and over again. There you go. So bullish order block. And then I see one potentially forming right here. Another bullish order block. Just like that. See that? Once we trade up into it, it initiates it. We already took out yesterday's high. So we took out the high from Friday. So far, we got the high from the London session right there, buy side liquidity. Now this might look strange to y'all if y'all brand new, but trust me, go through the Patreon to see how this stuff works. Now we're already back up to 241. What time of the day is it? We're currently in the lunch hour. We're currently in the New York lunch hour. So let me go ahead and draw this out right quick. Let's go down to the 15-minute time frame. So 8:30 to 11 o'clock. That begins the lunch hour, the New York AM lunch hour. Excuse me, not the New York AM, but the New York session lunch hour. From 8:30 to 11, that's the AM session. 11 to 1:30, that's the lunch hour. And this is all Eastern Standard Time. And from 1:30 to 4 o'clock, that's the PM session. So far, I want to highlight the previous session highs. So during the AM session, there goes a high, which is buy side liquidity. That's where pending orders are. And then we got, let's go back, let's look at what happened earlier this morning. We got the London session lows right here, sell side liquidity. Hopefully y'all paying attention to this, man. Like, this is what y'all be wanting. And I am doing it for free. And I'm not saving it for the Patreon. Let's go down to the 5-minute. It is currently, let's see right quick. It's the 12 o'clock hour. So I'm going to put a vertical trend line on 12 o'clock. $12 o'clock to 1 o'clock. And we're inside of the lunch hour. So every hour has 4 quarters. Every hour has 4 quarters. So from 12 o'clock to 12:15, 12:15 to 12:30, 12:30, 12:45, 12:45, 1 o'clock. Now drop down to the 1 minute. So yes, price looking very clean right now. Y'all tell me, what is this right here? What is this? What is this right here? What is that right there? Y'all let me know in the chat. Yep, Bissy. Yep, y'all right. So is it random? Here we are, where I can show you more examples. Is it random that we trade down into this Bissy, buy side imbalance, sell side inefficiency, displays higher? Now we're retracing back down to what? What is this right here? Do I prefer us come back down there? No, I want to continue to see us go higher. There go that buy side liquidity right there. That is the AM session high right there. We're currently in the lunch hour. Oh, what's up, Malcolm? Appreciate you joining, man. If y'all just joining, man, get them likes up. I got 30 people in the building. Make sure y'all smash that like button for me. Share the video. Subscribe to the channel if you're brand new. Subscribe to the Patreon if you're brand new. So there we are, retracing back down lower. And again, imagine going to the spot market, or when crypto or these markets become 24/7, where I'm gonna spend weekends, you're gonna be spending time making money. You won't have to go to, and for the people, and that's a beautiful thing, 24/7 trading. So for people that want to learn this skill set and say they don't never have time, well, guess what? When these markets go live on the weekend, ain't no more excuses. When the markets go live on the weekend, won't be no more excuses to get in here to learn how to trade. Where center at? I'm not sure. In the meantime, right now, I'm expecting XRP to go ahead and break out, take out the AM session high, and come up and take out this high right here left behind in the London session. We're going to get that most likely today. It's showing very strong price action right now in this moment on a Saturday. I bet some of y'all are looking at your portfolio. Man, 241, we back up. We looking good. But I'm not even looking at the portfolio. I'm not even worried about the money. I'm looking at these candlesticks. I'm looking at price action. I'm looking at the algorithm perform. It's like an engine. So you understand and master how to do this. You won't have to worry about money. The candlesticks will pay you out. The money comes second. The candlesticks are going to get you paid. You say I scared him off? Yeah, I ain't seen him in a while though. I haven't seen Center in a while, man. I ain't trying to scare him off, but he thought he was correct. He thought he was correct and he was wrong. Because they look at other channels. I'm telling you, in this crypto space, and I'm not bragging, I'm very humble. And I'm confident. I'm just confident because nobody has put in the time. I know for sure nobody put as much time. Nobody that y'all follow on YouTube that deal with price action or charts, they have not put in the time that I have put in. They can't even show you this live. All they do is speculate and what they think and what they assume. But no, we're going to be practical. Y'all don't hear me talking about, man, we're going to go to $100. And matter of fact, let's go to the algorithm. Let's go to the algorithm. Let's go to YouTube. Let's just see what the sentiment is out there. I haven't looked in a few days. Let's go look at the XRP algorithm, the sentiment in that space. So this is what I'm saying. Like, I don't sit here and be like, oh, you must own. It's clear as fucking day. You got to own shit. You know what I'm saying? You got to own it. Let's see what else. Let's see what else. XRP, a big payday is on its way. $11 XRP. This is actually insane. How the fuck is somebody gonna break down these markets in 11 seconds? How they gonna just break it down in 11 seconds and say, oh, it's going to $11? This video right here, they're not showing you where the liquidity is. They're not showing you reference points where the market is in a discount or a premium. It's going to a liquidity pool. It's going to a gap in price. No, 11 seconds. And this is what? 8.7K views. 8.7K views. This is actually insane. You know what I'm saying? That is insane. That's how short-term people's retention is. Okay, yeah, I'm comfortable. I feel good now. $11, you know, based on nothing. The price can 10x this cycle based on what? These people are sick, man. These people are sick. And then YouTube, you look at that right there. Look at that right there. Y'all know I despise that right there. Y'all know I despise that right there. Look at that. Holding. You know what I'm saying? Look at that right there. Look at that right there. That shit is hilarious to me. The head holding. But I use this as sentiment. I like to see, okay, what is retail thinking? And a lot of times they're 100% of the time they're off, they're off on the mark. Let me read this comment right quick. Come back to the chart right quick. Look at that, just like that. Look at price being very algorithmic. Very algorithmic, displacement higher. Taking out what? How do I know where it's gonna go before it goes? There's a lot of volume in the market, but hey, boss, there are a lot of Christian prophetic people who are long-term bullish on XRP, but had dreams that it crashes to a $1.40 flash crash, and then pumps back up. Any possibility of that based on charts? Mark, and a shout out to you, Mark. I appreciate you, but I got a question, man. Like, what does being Christian and prophetic have to do with price going down to $1.40 flash crash? What does that have to do with anything? What does even being a Christian have to do with price going down to $1.40 and then pumps back up? I'm just confused. You know what I'm saying? Like, any possibility of that based on charts? You said nothing, but if God gave wisdom in a dream to sell and accumulate more lower. You said God told him the price. What Boss showed us in the discount range could go as low as 66 cents. Law Docs, I gave you that scenario, and yes, it can. Let's go back right here. Retracing down to a fair value gap. But let me ask y'all this. Let me ask y'all this right quick. Let me ask y'all this. Do you think the people that control the financial markets, do you think they are Christians? Do you think they are Christians? The people that control, if I'm telling you, sitting here telling you that these markets are controlled by algorithms, they're 100% manipulated, they can be predicted. Do you think those people are Christians? Do you think they have good faith for the people to do well? Let's go out to the 5 minute. Market is high resistance as well right now. High resistance liquidity conditions. Yeah, Mark, man, they caught me off left field right quick. Mark, they caught me off of left field. Even, listen, I hate to say it, but I ain't gonna say that. I ain't gonna say that because I don't want to disrespect nobody. I ain't trying to disrespect nobody. I was gonna say, like, God, I'm gonna tell you this. I'm gonna say this. God led you to understand what crypto was and XRP. I feel like that's God's doing right there. That's God's doing by showing you the way of finding this asset that can probably most likely change your life. To me, that's God, because God spoke to me in the same way. Like, hey man, pay attention to this. My God told me, pay attention to this, study this, look into it, keep studying it, keep understanding it. But when it comes to price going back down to $1.40, that ain't God speaking, in my honest opinion. That has nothing to do with God. He said God will take control of the algos. You said you think markets are more of the B system. So Mark, check now for the people that are religious and they say the markets are a B system. Are you invested in the B system? Aren't you investing? So what does that? Okay, I never understood that. I'm a Christian, but I'm gonna go ahead and invest in the B system and go against the grain, go against everything dealing with God. I'm gonna go ahead and invest in this, going against everything, going against God. So what does that make you? ZZ, man, ZZ, you in the Patreon, ZZ. It ain't about what I think. You should start telling me what you think. I want to know what do you think, ZZ? We should have saved this for Sunday. We should have saved this. We should have saved the ministry for Sunday. Let me go ahead and pass around my donation. Let me go ahead and pass that around. Well, I think, you know what I'm saying? Like how the pastors go. Well, I think, we gonna go above $5. We gonna go above $10. That's how I think. Now it's all good, Mark. I appreciate you, Mark. ZZ, you the operator as well, ZZ. You're also the operator. That's why I'm teaching you. If y'all sign up in the Patreon, I'm making you become an independent thinker. Well, yeah, man. Let me go ahead and let me set up my ministry and pass that, just giveth. You know what I'm saying? Just giveth the money. Pass the collection plate around. Y'all tripped out, man. Y'all tripped out on this Saturday morning. Y'all tripped out. So we traded back down to this fair value gap. And now we're moving higher. Jew, you said that's a hard pill for some of y'all investors. So if y'all ain't seen the movie Sinners, that movie is very telling, but we all sinners, man. Like, I don't care if you're a Christian. I don't care if you're a Muslim. I don't care if you atheist. We all sinners. We all got vices. So one of your vices might be investing in the B system. That might be your vice. That might be your vice. Jew, you said it's bad tech, but I'm trying to use it for good. I get that, man. Like, I get it, man. Listen, this is how I look at it. The current system we're currently under, we're slaving for wages. You know what I'm saying? We playing a game of like just it's a bullshit ass system. If you haven't woke up to what we living in yet, it's a bullshit system, and we continue to play that game. Y'all got y'all real IDs? How many of y'all got the real ID or a passport and y'all like to travel? Who got the real ID and got a passport and y'all like to travel? Oh, I didn't even realize we took out that high right there. So you see how we traded higher right there? That's why we dropped off like that. We traded up there, took out that buy side liquidity and retraced back down to this gap. We're using this as an inversion. Mark, so you got the real ID. So you're pretty much buying into the system that they're forcing upon us. You really ain't have the choice because you like to travel, right? You ain't had no choice. So you went ahead and got that real ID. B Rush, you say you ain't got shit, so you internationally known. I go anywhere. Mark, you said you hate it. Why do you hate it, Mark? You gotta travel. You gotta move around. You gotta enjoy life. You gotta enjoy the life. Let me zoom out right quick. Once we break that high right there, once we break out, I'm gonna show you where I want to see price go next. Once we break out to that high, I want to come up and see us retest that 243 level. So once we displace higher, 243 next at this high right here. You said if you got to get the mark on your forehead or hand, I'll go gather berries in the woods to eat. Hey, you got to determine where your line is going to be drawn. I don't give a damn. They already listen. You got a mark. You got a social security card. You got a social security number. You got a driver's license. You got a passport. You got a real ID. You got, you pay taxes. You're already done submitted to what they got going on. So y'all explain that to me, Malcolm. You say you signed some of your rights away with the new ID and don't even know it. Explain that. Mark, you said you probably on every list and they know where you live. You got a cell phone, don't you, Mark? You got a cell phone bill, right? Even when you go on YouTube, when you go on Google, they know they can track you. Everything you type into the algorithm, they can search you, track you, advertise shit to you. So what you worried about? As long as you're living, you're going to be traced and tracked. As long as the rest of your days in this universe, you're going to be traced and tracked. Now, where the line is drawn is when if they try to physically, if it becomes physical, that's when the line is drawn. Like, they physically trying to imprison you. So, for example, my ancestors came from slavery. My ancestors came from slavery. So how worse can it get than physical slavery? I wasn't in physical slavery, but just think about it. How worse can it get than physical slavery? I know mental slavery is real, But physical slavery was mental and physical. How worse can it get than physical slavery? Yeah, that's what I'm saying. B-Rush, I look at cases every day. Like, I follow certain court cases. I can't tell you how many court cases I done seen where all they had to do was tap that damn cell phone. Tap that cell phone. Or you can even delete shit out your phone. They can go pull all that shit back up. They can retrieve all that deleted information. If you did a crime or something, they can go pull all that back up and track you down. Mary Mercedes Rogers, you said you don't use trend line. What do you mean trend line? What do you mean trend line? Like just a regular trend line on the chart? And then give me more information. Like, explain you don't use trend line. Right now I'm doing naked price action. Again, like I don't use no indicators, no nothing. And the markets are algorithmic. These things that I'm showing you, they repeat over and over again. So you see these highlighted areas. These are inefficiencies in price. You can see how price is hanging out inside of that. And eventually I want to see price move higher like it's about to do here in, what time is it? 12:39 in a few minutes. Sneaky, you say, fear not the one that can destroy the body, but the one that can destroy the soul. Internal damnation from the mark is worse than anything here. Boss has not caught up to how the legal name work just yet. My phone is not in my legal name. Okay, law docs. Okay. I bet they can come lock your ass up if they wanted to as well. What it's in an entity, it's in a corporation. I understand all that, trust me. You can't say what I don't understand. I understand a lot of things. I understand being a sovereign citizen. Y'all don't think I know? You don't think I know about that? Being a sovereign citizen, that the United States is a constitution, not a democracy, not a republic. I understand all the sovereign talk, but guess who in power? Jew, you said shut up and pay your taxes, law docs. That's funny right there. Flipping page, you say you cannot be a sovereign and a citizen at the same time. Nope, not in the United States. Oh, we got a new pope. We got a new pope, an American pope. So again, like I know my history. Like I understand the sovereignty and all that. You know, back in the day, the popes, they ordered a manifest destiny. They sent their people from Europe all over to the Americas to find the new lands, the Spanish, the Portuguese. They came over here to the Western world in the name of Christ. They came over here to amongst a group of people who didn't believe in, well, they practiced their own religions, their own culture, their own practices. And they came over here and they pretty much under the orders of the Pope. So you got European nations that will go to war with each other. But whenever the Pope would call, they would come together to go find new lands. And guess what? Those things still go on today. These things are still occurring today. Manifest destiny. Y'all should know what that is. Mark, you good? I'm still looking at the charts right now. I'm analyzing the charts. But these are conversations, you know, they're just conversation starters. Okay, law docs. Ridicule what you do, not understand is okay. I have been at this for many moons. You're not explaining yourself, law docs. Explain yourself. You talking in code. I know you want to sound, you know, I know you want to talk in code, but explain what you're saying. I need you to be more coherent for us, you know, sovereign people or whatever you're trying to get. I don't know. Just explain what you're trying to say. You just saying stuff and not being, you know. You speaking in code. Stop speaking in code and just come out and say what you got to say. So you understand where I'm coming from, how, okay, the current system we under, like for us in America has been seized a long time ago. Like this shit is deeper than whatever. Like there's so many factions in America, but this shit is very deep. The Roman Catholic Church, many moons ago, now I'm talking about like, let's see what, the 1400s, the 1500s, they came over to the Western world in the name of manifest destiny. When Donald Trump got elected, he mentioned manifest destiny. So that to me was an indication like, oh, this shit ain't even over with. This is not over with. Manifest destiny is like still, it's like code for still conquering, still, destroying, still conquering lands, still enslaving people. That's what that is. In the name of Christ. So they're using Christ and religion to seek a new world order in the world. I appreciate it, Maria. Let's go ahead and look at the rest of the markets. I'm gonna go over here. Let's look at XLM. XLM on the move. XLM moving pretty good. It's currently trading at 30 cents, moving right along with XRP. Let's go down to the monthly. XLM traded down to the fair value gap, 3-month fair value gap. This old gap right here left behind in price is actually a 6-month gap. Now, I don't even have it calibrated. 3-month. Go ahead and calibrate that. You can see we traded down into it. Also, we traded down into a monthly fair value gap. Right here, this monthly fair value gap. And now we're starting to displace higher. So we already took out the previous month's high. And the same thing for XLM. Now, when XLM starts to move, like this candle right here back in November, that was a very strong candle right there. It outperformed XRP during the month of November. That was a very strong candle right there. So whenever XLM decides to move, I anticipate that strong volatility to come in the market. I want to see XLM get back up to November's high, which is 63 cents. And let's see if we can explode through that and come take out the all-time high, which was 79 cents. I'm ready for XLM to get up to that $1.50, that $2 price level, especially if XRP starts to move, up to like $5, $6. I want to see at least XLM get up to that $1 range, $2 range. Let's look at XDC. XDC currently consolidating. Let's go out to the 3-month. On the 3-month time frame, earlier in this quarter, they offered you a discount right here inside of this fair value gap on the 3-month time frame. They dropped it down to 6 cents. It's currently trading at 7 cents. I know that might not seem like a lot, but it's still very early for XDC. Still very early. Still very early. You can get a whole lot right now. And recently, a few weeks ago, I was kind of like, I had to pretty much reconsider my XDC holdings because XLM is pretty much going after the same market as XDC, which was trade finance. Now, I don't see none of them capturing the entire market. They can definitely have a market share. But once I seen that XLM was going after trade finance and they're a settlement token, they're a liquidity token, I said, hey, I see more value in XLM than I do XDC. Not knocking that. XDC is going to do tokenization. Same with XLM. Only thing XDC is missing, it does not have a settlement token. It's not a settlement token. It's not a liquidity token. They don't move liquidity around like XLM and XRP. So because I'm not no wealthy individual, I don't like to be spread out into too many assets. I had to narrow my assets down. I narrowed my portfolio down to just a small handful, and I got to make sure I go with what's best for me. But XDC is still a great project, but XLM can do way more than XDC. Way more. It can tokenize. It can do everything XDC can do, plus some. So y'all might want to just, touch up on what you think. Still a great project though. But at the time, XLM dropped down to 20 cents, and I had to take advantage of that. So now we're at 30 cents. So it's all profit over here. All profit. H-bar. So earlier this month or this quarter, H-bar dropped down to 12 cents. It dropped down to 12 cents. I was a heavy purchaser at 12 cents. Down inside of this fair value gap. That was your opportunity to accumulate. Now it's currently sitting at 21 cents, looking very good. Hopefully y'all took advantage. It's no longer in a discount. It's currently at a premium. So my top three, me personally, XRP, XLM, H-bar. The reason being is because you already know the top two: settlement tokens, liquidity tokens. That was also mentioned by the World Bank. And again, their function, nobody comes close to their functionality. And then I went with H-bar simply because it's an American-made company. I'm from the United States. I'm gonna favor those American-made products. Now, XDC, I still need to see, okay, are they gonna come to the United States? Where does that stand? Okay, also Missouri. I just seen that Missouri, the state of Missouri, did they get rid of crypto taxes or capital gains taxes on cryptocurrency? Did y'all see that? I agree with you, Malcolm. I agree with you. XDC is going to be around. I agree with you. XLM also does RWA and smart contracts and going after the global trade finance, and they got a liquidity token. XDC is not a liquidity token. So me personally, I had to make my decision. That's just me. Don't let me sway none of y'all. Y'all stand tall on what y'all study. Don't let me be the reason y'all want to swap something out or trade nothing. I'm just saying what I had to do. Missouri. Let's go to the news. This was 2 days ago. Missouri is about to become the first U.S. state to exempt stocks and crypto sale profits from income tax. So that's a big deal right there. So that's why I prefer, this is probably not going to be considered all cryptocurrency. I'm not sure. We need more details, but I'm going to lean towards those U.S. based companies because I'm in the United States. And if we're not going to be paying crypto capital gains tax on crypto, then I want to make sure I got those United States based assets, because I don't know what they're going to consider XDC, which is Zenfin is not a US based company unless they decide to offshore and come to the United States. That'll be that'll be something different. But y'all come look at that. Y'all go Google that right there. Pretty much Missouri is going to eliminate capital gains tax on crypto. That's a big deal. I've seen that earlier this week. But let me take a little closer look at H-bar. Let's go down to the weekly. Yes, H-bar looking very strong. I would not be surprised if H-bar just breaks out and comes up and takes out the 40 cent price level. I would not be surprised. Y'all get ready, man. Like it's looking good for the month of May. We just completed the first month of May. Let's see how we get through next week. Remember, we got a lot of volatility coming to the market next week. Let's come over here to Coinbase. Let me pull that up right quick. Coinbase Futures. Top stories 2 days ago. 24/7 trading has arrived at Coinbase. 24/7 trading has arrived at Coinbase. Coinbase launches 24/7 trading for Bitcoin and Ethereum futures. This is the first time 24/7 trading is available for leveraged futures contracts on a CFTC regulated exchange. First time ever. That's a big deal. And it's right here on Coinbase. I recently signed up to Coinbase. Y'all, I advise y'all, if y'all want to learn how to trade, y'all sign up to the Patreon, and then you can come over to Coinbase Advanced. It's Coinbase Advanced, and you can go ahead and log in. So for example, I come down here on TradingView. You see that right there, Coinbase Advanced. I can select that. I can connect to my broker. It said third-party TradingView would like to access your account, profile account details. There's nothing personal up here neither. So when you log in, you get to see your account balance, your transactions, your payments, all that. And then log in directly. So I didn't even have to go to Coinbase. I can log in directly from TradingView. And now I can start trading directly on this market right here. It's not live right now. So right now, this is not live trading. So let me go ahead and look that up right quick. Let's go look up the Bitcoin futures contract right quick. Let's go look up the Bitcoin futures contract to see if it's live trading right now at this moment. So let's go ahead and look that up. Let's go to futures, BTC. I'm looking at for Coinbase right here, Coinbase derivative. So and that's the nano right there. So the contract code is BIT on Coinbase. BIT, that's the nano Bitcoin futures Coinbase derivative. So I'm gonna select that. Let me refresh the page. God damn it. Let me pull it up again. I'm just gonna go over here and type in BIT. Let's go to the May contract. And the thing right now with Coinbase, they only got month-to-month contracts. So when the CME goes live, they normally have quarterly contracts. So right now on Coinbase, they got month-to-month contracts. So May, June, July. But when the CME goes live, they're going to have 3-month quarterly contracts, which I prefer. I never traded month-to-month contracts. I might start trading them, but I'm usually trading quarterly contracts where those contracts usually last 3 months at a time. And this market is not live right now at the moment. It's not live. So it's closed. It's currently closed. So it closed on Friday around 5 p.m. and then it'll open at Sunday, 6 o'clock p.m. So it's not currently 24/7 unless I'm looking at a different code. Coinbase launches 24/7 trading Bitcoin, Ethereum. So I'm looking for it. Let's see. We are excited to announce a major advancement in the regulated U.S. derivatives market starting May 9th, 2025. U.S. traders will access 24/7 trading from Bitcoin and Ethereum futures, the first time ever on a CFTC regulated exchange. We're proud to share that Coinbase Derivatives is now the first CFTC regulated derivatives exchange to offer leveraged futures contracts 24/7 trading. Key highlights: continuous market access. We enable round-the-clock access to futures trading. So, okay, watch this. Let me go look at the continuous contract. Let's go look at the continuous contract. So, let's go to BIT. Select that. Yeah, it's not 24/7 right now. It's not 24/7, but I don't know. I need to read more about it. I'm going to read more into it. Okay, look, that's what I'm looking at right now. The perpetual futures contract coming soon. Okay. So let's read the two differences. Key highlights. The continuous market access. We enable round-the-clock access to futures trading with support of execution risk management 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. This eliminates the limitations of traditional market hours, allowing U.S. traders to manage risk, respond to price movements and market events in real time, including weekends. That's a big deal, the weekend. So for y'all people who can't do this during the weekday, y'all start looking for the weekends. Mr. Mr. Dub, boss, I'm not sure if you spoke about it before, but have you ever looked up Stronghold SHX? Yes, I have. Yes, I have. I have looked it up before. I might look it up here shortly, but I've talked about SHX on here. If y'all are watching my channel, we mainly focus on, I'm teaching y'all how to trade. I'm more of a technical analyst, and I want y'all to understand how to read price action, learn how to trade. If you also, I don't watch every market as well. There's no way that we can be in all markets at one time. Are y'all rich? Mr. Dub, are you a wealthy individual? I'm not getting into your personal business, but I'm just saying, like, I try to keep y'all like narrow minded. Like, look at the major assets, and then I show y'all how y'all can go learn how to trade and cash flow in order to buy more assets. We don't want to be we don't want to be too spread out. I'm gonna go ahead and tell y'all, I'm down to three assets. I'm down to 3 assets, 3 positions. That's all I care about. I don't need more than that. I would be down to 1 asset, but no, I did furthermore research, and I'm down to 3. Now, some people are in 10, 12, 15 different assets. There's no way you can be doing that and trying to look for maximum potential. But let me continue. Perpetual futures coming soon. So the perpetual futures coming soon. 24/7 trading is just the beginning. CDE is currently working to introduce perpetual style futures on the US, giving retail traders access to one of the most widely used derivative products in crypto, but within a regulated environment. But it's not live right now. I'm gonna have to do some more digging, or some of y'all that are in the Patreon, if y'all want to do some digging as well. I haven't seen, this is not live, like the 24/7. Let me see right quick. The 24/7 Bitcoin, I don't see is live right now. BIT. Futures. Maybe I need to look out some more. Yeah, it's not live. It's not live right now. So moving forward, what is live is the Nano, XRP Nano, and also the XRL. The XRL, which is the big boy contract on Coinbase. The XRL product is live. So XRL is live. That's the futures contract. That's the bigger contract than the Nano. So again, it's live, but it's illiquid. There's no liquidity really flowing through it at this moment. So I'm not interested, but I'll definitely be interested once this pick up with more volume, more institutional liquidity coming to the market. Let's take a quick peek at back at XRP. So look at XRP. It goes up, takes out previous session highs, and now again, be paying attention to your portfolio. We're most likely going to try to come back up and aim for this 243 target above price. May 19th, right here, this XRP from the CME, which the CME products will be way more liquid than the Coinbase products, in my honest opinion. The CME has way more institutional liquidity coming to the market than the Coinbase products. So May 19th, the XRP CME futures contracts will go live. So be on the lookout for that. That's in another week. That's a week from now. So we can kind of anticipate liquidity coming to the market once this goes live. And there goes the specs. And then that's how much they will cost. That's how much they will cost. The minimum price fluctuation for this, every 5 ticks is $25 goddamn dollars. So very expensive. So for every tick, if you look down here, right here below the mark, below every tick, for every 1 tick, that's $5. Whenever this tick goes to 5, that's $25. So put that in perspective if y'all haven't done that already. That's going to bring a lot of capital, institutional liquidity is going to come to this market. This contract right here is going to be so goddamn expensive and rewarding if you know what you're doing. But other than that, man, I think I covered everything like for today. And this is pretty much, we just chilling today. We just hanging out. I appreciate y'all joining this live stream. If y'all are interested in signing up for the Patreon, y'all go ahead and do so. I appreciate y'all joining today. Make sure y'all hit that like button. If y'all brand new, subscribe to the channel. Share the video. Continue to stay tuned. If y'all haven't been to my channel, check out my channel. I do more than just crypto. I don't just talk about crypto. We talk about technical analysis across all markets, all asset classes. But we're tapped in. We know what's going on. We are first. If you tapped into the Patreon, we are first to price. Like, we understand what's going on before 99% of everybody else. I know that might sound crazy, but I'm confident in that. We know what's going on in price, not fundamentally, but in price. We're always ahead. If you just joining, I've been calling out. I've been calling out stuff months ahead of time. I will call out a specific price level a month ahead of time, and then we eventually go there. So stay tapped in. Check out the videos in my YouTube if y'all aren't familiar with what I do. But I appreciate y'all joining, man. I'm gonna let y'all enjoy the rest of y'all after Saturday, and I will go live tomorrow. And we're gonna get a weekly forecast going into tomorrow. But I definitely appreciate y'all joining. Y'all enjoy the rest of y'all Saturday. Peace out.